The following is a presentation of TFNN. Trade what you see with Larry Pesavento. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-445-1044. Now, Larry Pesavento.
Okay, looking good, Billy Ray. Feeling good, Lewis, and a happy new year to everyone, regardless of where you are. I hope you're enjoying your holiday. And we'll get on to these markets today. It's going to be a pretty active day. Usually the last day of the year, for some reason, has a little bit more oomph to it than the day after Christmas, but we'll have to wait and see. Remember, the last 2 days of the year, excuse me, the first 3 days of the, wow, Larry, let's try this one more time. Shouldn't be drinking vodka this early in the morning, and which I'm not. Anyway, the last 3 days, trading days of the month, and the first 2 trading days of the month have a 75% bias. That's just a probability. That's all that it is. So keep in mind. Now, I've posted in there the New York Stock Exchange Index chart. That chart has been going down since May 19th, and that's the day we had the new moon, and the Mercury was going retrograde. And I spoke with our good friend Norm Winsky of Astro Trends last night at 1:30 in the morning, and well, early this morning, not last night, and he requested to come on January the 6th. So we're going to have him on next week to go over some of the things that he's seeing. He's got a big signal coming up here, and that happens to be spot on with the Bradley date that we're looking at. So we want to do that. Now I want to ask, so this is the last day of the year, and we haven't had any what we call a mutual participation in the room. It's basically just the old cowboy here flopping his old jaws, trying to come up with a few things. The question that Bob is asking in the room, it means that there's a 75% chance of the market closing higher than it is closing lower on those 5 days, Bob. That's what that means. Nothing more, nothing less. That's on a long-term basis. That's what we're looking at. So let's look at something long-term here, okay? I do a lot of cycle work, and been doing it for a very, very long time. But I want you to follow along with me today. Please just give me a couple of minutes here. Get your pencil out and get your calculator out, because I want to show you some statistics here that I think that's very, very interesting. I've posted a chart in here that I want you to take a look at. It's about the moon trading days and stuff. But if you'll write this number down, 87, that's the number of years that was in this study, and you multiply 87 times 12, and you're going to come up with 1,044. That's the number of full moons that you're going to have, and then you multiply that times 2, because you have a full moon and a new moon in a month, and so now you have 2,088 potential hits over a period of 87 years. Folks, that is flat out statistically accurate. Now, this particular study is done by Tom Pelk. That's TOMPELC. All you have to do is to go into Google and hit it. You'll see the whole study, what he did. He's an incredibly nice fellow. He works with Nomura Securities right on the Thames River there in London. We were over to visit him, and he spent the day with him and his group, and it was really a lot of fun. But he does a lot of work with these lunar cycles, and they are incredibly accurate. And these are some of the things that we look at here. But what I wanted you to see is the long-term implications of this. In other words, if you would have bought on the new moon or sold on the full moon, all during the time, I'll type it into the room here, Tucker, for you. His name is T-O-M. His last name is P-E-L-C, Tom Pelk. And if all you have to do is Google it, and you'll see his name, and because he's done a lot of stuff with the lunar things, and he speaks all over the Middle East and in Europe, and hasn't done Asia yet, but I'm sure he will. But he's basically that'll be, there you go. I think that's it right there. You'll be able to get on what it is. But it's basically cycle work, and it's, it's a shorter cycle. So you're only looking at 14 days. But if you would have bought on the new moon and sold on the new moon over that 87-year period, you would have outperformed the S&P by 16 times. Now, when you stop and think that most of the mutual funds, don't outperform the S&P 500, and most of the hedge funds are pretty much in the same way the last few years, you realize that this is a tremendous way of looking at it. The big problem is because it has something related to the moon. People think it's astrology, and it's not. It's basically just cycles. It's just a 17.5-day cycle is all that it actually is. Shane Smolian, in our book that he basically wrote and we did together, he pointed out some of these lunar cycles, and they're very, very important. We can see that all the time. This year, the market topped, on a new moon on May the 19th. We made major bottoms on the 28th of September when we had that huge bottom. August 24th was within a couple of days of the exact full moon too. So, these are the things that we want to do. And I'm bringing this to your attention for one reason. I had a phone call yesterday from a university on the West Coast that I've consulted with before. And they've asked my opinion about, money managers and stuff like that, and they wanted to do it in-house and what would be the best way to start it. And I led them to that article. And I told them, I said, if you'll study this article, go back and prove it to yourself. Like Twentyman says, defy human nature, prove it to yourself, and then you'll have a better idea of what's really going on, because all you have to do is go back and look. You've got 2,088 samples, for God's sake. That'll give you a statistical validation of what you're looking at. And if you can be anywhere near 60% on these, and I'm sure it does a lot better than that, you're going to far outperform the market. So that's what I told them to do. Whether they do that or not, I don't know. I have consulted with this university over the past 20 years. I first met them back in 95 when I gave a speech over there, and then in 2000 I gave a big speech over there, and they were really heavily involved in the NASDAQ. They had hundreds of millions of dollars in NASDAQ stocks right at the top, and I was over there in early March of 2000, and I was really prepared, because I saw something, that was so ominous with that top, that they were fortunate enough to really liquidate about 90% of it. They did keep some of it. Unfortunately, the 10% that they kept was the really bad stuff, the stuff like, I can't remember a few of those stocks. I know one, Global Crossing was one that they watched go down the toilet. And there's a couple others that were in there. CMGI was another one that did not do very good, and there's a couple others, but they saved hundreds of millions of dollars. They sent me a beautiful gift for it, and I stayed on the board there for them for about 4 or 5 years, and then they had a big changeover in the board, and when one of the members found out that I did something with astrology, I was never invited back. But that's neither here nor there. Okay. Anyway, that's what we're looking at here when we're watching this stuff. Now, yesterday we had a question about a trade of the year. Starting in about 1995, I would put out a trade of the year. Every year, something that I saw, usually around December or January, I put out something, and they did very, very well. None of them ever lost any money. Couple of years out of the 13 years that I did it, there were, I think, 10 winning years. A couple of those winning years were really monsters. We bought soybeans on the bottom, and they rallied $4 a bushel. And we bought the Nikkei at 6,900. And just in gold, we bought that one at, 285 or something like that. I don't remember the exact things that we were doing, but those, and really what happened was, it was about 4 or 5 years, well, yeah, probably 5 years ago. I just realized that, I was getting nothing out of the darn thing. I mean, I did the work, but, frankly, no one really gave a damn. So, why should I even do it? I might get 2 or 3 calls or emails at the end of the year saying, gee, that you did really good. That helped me a lot. But, that didn't do anything. So why even do it? So, I was talking to Twentyman yesterday. We were wishing each other a happy new year as we get up into our old age here. And we were, chatting about certain things, and he asked me to take a look at something, and so I did. And I said, oh, my God. And he said, yeah. He said, I thought that's what you would say. He showed me something that goes back historically for me, very, very significant. And I have found what I think is the trade of the decade or century, probably the trade of the century, given the statistical evidence behind this. But unfortunately, I'm not going to share it with anyone. I'm going to keep it all to myself. And if it's right, I'll share it with you next year at this time. So tune in. Oh, I'll probably share it, but we'll see if it works or not. But it's really, really interesting, folks. You talk about markets that repeat themselves. Shut the front door and raise the rent. Yeah, it's tulips, all right. Yep, that's like the man playing the piano. Okay, let me see what's. Hold on here a second. Okay. All right, hold on one second here. I'm going to try to show you the chart here. It's New Year's Day, or New Year's Eve. I might as well do it. This is just a preliminary, folks, because I just want you to see this. I want to show you the chart of the stock market here, and you can take a look at this and you make up your own mind. And what we'll do is we'll talk about this a little bit. But if you'll notice here, you can see the stock market. This is the period from 1960 through, well, actually 1958. I actually did my first trade in 1959 in a down market. I bought elastic stop nut with my uncle's $400 and ended up buying myself my first car. And it was an old jalopy, but it got me through. Anyway, it was a 1949 Mercury. Anyway, that's the Sylvester Stallone star from the movie Cobra. Okay, the bottom graph here is the Bradley model, and the top graph is the stock market for 1974. Folks, you can take that chart right there and overlay it where we are right now from 2000, 2007, and 2015, and it is a flat-out 100% replica. And if you look at it really closely, from 1970 to the high in 1973, you'll see that ABCD pattern. I can't draw it in here because the chart is too small, but there's another ABCD pattern in that last swing that also measures perfectly to the 1.618 number to the exact tick, just like we did this year at 21.34 in the S&P. That's the same number that we came out with in July of 1973, and that led to the October crash of 1974. We'll be right back, and we'll talk a little bit more about this and see what's happening.
Larry Pesavento has just started his brand new service, Fibonacci 24/7, and he's already delivering content to his subscribers on a daily basis when the market's opened and even on weekends. Each Monday, you'll receive Larry's written report that provides detailed commentary and a summary on the charts and videos that Larry sends out. And throughout the week, when warranted, Larry will send out via charts or videos or both the key markets that he is watching during the day. This will be up-to-the-date, active trading information that will help you in your daily trading. In Larry's first week alone, he sent out 25 charts, 6 videos, and a full report to his subscribers in just 1 week. If you're a technical trader that uses patterns and retracements to trade, then Larry's service Fibonacci 24/7 is something that you must try. Right now, new subscribers can get a full 30-day money-back guarantee. With nothing to risk, sign up now to Larry Pesavento's Fibonacci 24/7 by visiting the front page of TFNN.com under Trading Newsletters. TFNN is excited to offer a brand new piece of market scanning software unlike anything the industry has ever seen. John Logan and his team have spent years developing their market profile tools to finally be able to release the TAS Profile Scanner Plus. And right now you can get a 2-week trial absolutely free just by visiting TFNN.com and providing us your name and email address. The TAS Profile Scanner Plus is the premier market profile-based scanner in the industry. Powered by the acclaimed TAS proprietary algorithms, this feature-rich scanner is a standalone desktop software that instantly filters over 2,500 global financial markets such as stocks, ETFs, commodity futures, and Forex. Within 3 minutes of signing up, you can have the software downloaded and running on your computer with a complete roadmap of market indicators and inflection points to trade off using the TAS Profile Scanner Plus. Sign up today and try this amazing piece of software by visiting TFNN.com.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen live during those shows, and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com.
The Path of Least Resistance is David White's daily trading newsletter, and if you're looking for active trading ideas, then now's a perfect time for a 30-day free trial to this powerful daily trading advisory service. David uses his years of trading experience to offer his subscribers his trading ideas each morning in his Path of Least Resistance newsletter. Using a combination of equity trades along with options, David keeps his subscribers up to date with all pertinent market information with intraday afternoon updates when warranted. Don't miss out on this great chance to get a 30-day free trial to David's daily newsletter, The Path of Least Resistance, with no obligation to pay anything. David has been delivering solid recommendations for his subscribers recently, and if you'd like to see the type of newsletter he delivers every morning, then visit the front page of TFNN and you'll find The Path of Least Resistance under Trading Newsletters. For all the details and to start your 30-day free trial today, log on to TFNN.com now.
Tiger TV is an exciting way to experience TFNN programming. See high-definition video, giving you crystal clear charts, as well as seeing some of the faces of TFNN's highly acclaimed financial experts with crisp, full-fidelity sound. Catch Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Larry Pesavento, Think or Swim, David White, Andy Hecht, and Daryl Martin in crystal clear, high-definition audio and video. Tiger TV, exclusively at TFNN.com. Larry takes your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
Okay, we're back, folks, and I'm going to be working on this this trade that I'm looking at here longer term, because when you see this, what happened in 1970, between 1959 and 1974, that 15-year period, that was a huge move. That was the last really big bear market we had, was from 1974. And then it bottomed, believe it or not, it bottomed on August the 9th of 1982. I was already on the floor of the Mercantile Exchange at that time. And the Dow, I believe, was about, I think it was around 700, because during the crash it got, no, maybe 600, but the Dow got down to about 500 in October of 1974. Then it rallied from December of 74 into early 75. And then what happened is we backed off into that low of August the 9th of 1982. That's when interest rates started to drop. That was the day they rang the bell on Wall Street, because interest rates started to drop, and they continued to drop until last week. And then we'll see, what happens. Been a lot of swings in between, but we want to watch this very closely because of the correlation that we see here. You can't find a 15-year period of correlation like that in the market. We're going back 42 years, folks. I wouldn't have seen this if Jim hadn't pointed it out to me. And when I saw that, I said, my God, it's the exact same pattern. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the pattern and then overlay it on what we're looking at right now, and you'll see that we're seeing the same thing over and over again. Now, if you look at what's really happening to the market itself, and that's the fact that there's only about 150 stocks out of the 8,700 that are doing all this stuff. And I posted in here showing you the FANGs, which is your Facebook, Amazon, Netflix, Google, and of course we don't even have what's the one that starts with the what's the other one that's really big? Google. Oh dear, I'm another CRS. I have to take some more medication today. We have Google, Amazon. Well, anyway, those are the bigger ones. Anyway, Amazon's in there. We have Facebook, Amazon, Netflix, Google, and there's a bunch of, well, you've got Disney and you've got McDonald's and some other the high price ones that are moving this stuff up. So, but this chart basically shows you that most of the stocks of this 8,700 are, they're still down below the 200-day moving average. They've been going down ever since. The Dow Jones Transportation, Apple, there you go. That's another one that I wanted to remember. And we'll keep an eye on all of those stocks, but that's what's been pushing this market up, and that's what they feed us. And listen to me today, babbling on here, but this morning, the first thing I did was raining here in Philadelphia this morning, so I like to see the rain. So I got up, went outside, took a little walk, and come back. I turned on Bloomberg to see what was going on, and it was not on yet. So I watched CNBC, and they were talking about how all of the rain that's going on through the flooding areas of the Midwest and Southwest and stuff. Not Southwest, but Southeast, has affected the grain crops and how the grain markets were rallying strongly. And I said to myself, what country are they in? And I immediately checked my prices, and I mean, corn is 2 cents off of the lows, making new yearly lows. Beans are almost the same, and the wheat is almost a little higher, but they're all going down. Hello, give me a break. I mean, shut the front door, raise the rent, man. They're not reading it the way it really is. That's bad reporting. That's flat out what it is bad reporting. That's the main thing. I have to tell you one of my favorite stories. I don't know if I have I'm going to do it right here, because one of the most terrifying moments in my career as a trader was in October of 1980. I had a huge position on it, Drexel. I was short over 600 contracts of gold across the board, and I was handling about $20 million at the time. 600 was a lot when you have that kind of money. And Charles Osgood came on at 5 o'clock, and I had a radio in my shower, and I was listening to it. And he said, "Ladies and gentlemen," he said, "the Iranian fighter jets have hit the Iraqi power stations, and war has broken out in the Middle East, and gold is soaring." And I'm sitting there, and I didn't know whether to take my razor and slit it from right to left or left to right. I said, "Oh, Jesus, I'm going to have to go through this crap again like I did in 1974. And I just was literally shaking, and I got out of the shower. I didn't finish shaving. I just threw on my sweats, and I got into the car, and I was listening to the news, and he kept giving commercials, not even telling us what the price of gold was. And finally, after 3 commercials and a couple other things about, things that really weren't important, he said, "The price of gold in London is soaring at the first fix. It's up $2.65. By the time I got in, it was limit down. We'll be right back, folks. 877-927-6644.
In quiet markets, investors search for new trading opportunities. We'd like to introduce you to a new product that provides opportunities even in flat markets. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a new and innovative Chicago-based exchange registered with the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their trading platform. Nadex never charges a fee to use their platform, which even includes real-time charts and full custom
optimization capability. Nadex's unique short-term binary options allow traders and investors to capitalize on strategies even when the underlying markets are quiet. Nadex's innovation has allowed them to come up with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com, or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
Platinum, grains, crude oil, gold, copper, cattle, hogs, gasoline, natural gas, coffee, cotton, cocoa, and sugar. These are just some of the commodities mentioned in the most recent issue of Andy Hecht's Techno-Mental Commodity Report. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Techno-Mental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you will lock in the low rate of only $79 a month. Sign up right now for the Techno-Mental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
It's true. Life is all about choices. At Everbank, they're making it easy for you to make a smart one with this special cash offer. Open a new yield pledge money market account with funds from another financial institution, or deposit new funds into an existing yield pledge money market account, and you could earn up to a $500 cash reward. And if you're opening a new account, you'll also get their new higher 6-month bonus interest rate, along with their yield pledge promise that ensures your yield will always be in the top 5% of competitive accounts at banks nationwide. Open a new account or add to one. It's your choice. To qualify, you must meet balance and other limited time offer requirements. Go to everbank.com/TFNN for details and deposit options, or speak with one of their banking specialists at 1-855-750-4051 for more information. You must act by December 31st, 2015 to be eligible. Everbank is a member FDIC.
TFNN has just announced a brand new morning lineup that is geared specifically for traders in this volatile traders market. Every morning at 8 a.m., John Logan starts things off with his daily program, The Global Market Pulse. At 9 a.m., Larry Pesavento trades the market during the market open Monday through Friday on Trade What You See. At 10 a.m., Tom O'Brien hosts the Money Masters for the hour, and Basil Chapman hosts his Tiger Technicians Hour at 11 a.m. From 8 a.m. till noon every market day, these traders are with you as they provide up-to-the-second market information so that you can make the most educated and profitable trades possible. The new TFNN morning lineup is happening right now. Tune in to see for yourself what kind of actionable trading discussion they have each morning, Monday through Friday, starting at 8 a.m., live only on Tiger TV at TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Okay, boys and girls, we are going to switch our operation over to the metals market, basically the gold and the silver. We've been watching this gold. I have to use the old chart because I'm not able to get the this doesn't work the way I want it. This is the older chart, so there's nothing else I can do about it, getting it ready, being the last day of the year. But what I wanted to point out here is this range here on this gold. This is 15 minutes going over the last 10 days, and the 61% retracement comes in at that 1060, well, actually 1059 and change level, and we got as low as 1056.50 today. The fact is the market didn't rally yesterday after hitting it the first time. It hasn't done hardly anything yet today, but that is a key level in the gold market. That's the same level that we're looking at, of course, in the silver market, trying to hold these levels. It's a $64 question as whether it's going to hold or not. And the last day of the year, usually doesn't show very much. But the markets, all these commodities, all the grains they're still heading lower. The metals are still heading lower. Crude oil is still heading lower. And as we talk about crude oil here, for the last several days, we've been watching to see if the market can get down to this $36 per barrel level. So far today, we got down to $36.29, $3,600. Let's try $36 a barrel. Is the 61% retracement over the range over the last 8 days. Now, the fact that it hasn't been able to break down into new low ground, given the fact that we've had even more bearish news, if that's possible in oil this week, you can see that we have basically come down to a point where we are looking at a market that wants to try to find support, but whether it's going to or not, remains to be seen. So these are just patterns. That's all they are. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. But that's the whole beauty of it, is because when they don't work, it's telling you that you're flat out wrong, and you better either get on the other side of the trade, or get out of Dodge, because you just can't stand in front of these, because with the volatility that we've not had, which we are going to have, we're going to see some really big moves, happening, quite a bit. Now, we talked about Chipotle American Grill, Chipotle Mexican Grill, and yesterday that was our train trip day for our 4-year-old, and so we happened to drive past a Chipotle Mexican Grill, and it was flat out empty. I mean, all the restaurants around it were busy, but the one here in Philadelphia, there was nobody there. So evidently it's affected business quite a bit. Now, we talked about that 3-drive pattern in the Chipotle American Grill, and we have literally come down again and touched this same bottom again at the 385 level. And that tells me that we are getting ready to probably either head south in a big way, because all we need is Chipotle to get below the 380 level, and you'd be looking at something, very, very sinister. And that's what happens. And this chart, if you look at this CMG, it had those two tops. One was a big island reversal, back in January. Then we made a new high at a 1.27 expansion. Then we had another island reversal that took 4.5 months to complete, and that's when they had the big E. coli thing back in October. When the rest of the market was going straight up on October the 8th, CMG was going straight down. And that's a situation. It's a market of stocks, not a stock market, folks. So you got to remember that. You got to watch each of those stocks that you have, because one or two of those could be really looking something pretty negative. Let's just, what's your question, Mr. Z? All I'm saying is that there's a 3-drive to a bottom pattern in CMG. Very bad news. It's not gone crazy, but we'll wait and see. Oh, we got a caller for the last caller of the year, I guess. Brent, are you there?
I am, Larry. Good morning to you. How are you? Good
morning and a Happy New Year to you. What can I do for you, my friend?
I was really calling us to wish you and your family a Happy New Year, happy, healthy, prosperous New Year.
Yep, every day above ground is a good day. What can I do for you, buddy?
Absolutely. I had a quick story to tell you. This wasn't really stock related, but I thought you might have
interest in it. Yes, please do. We're in a festive mood here.
I had the opportunity yesterday to visit with a really wonderful Italian family. They have the only still working vineyard here in Martinez.
Wow.
It's been in the family for, this is, I think, the 4th generation.
Wow.
The son that's, he's friends with my son, Shane, my oldest son. They went to high school together. He went to college to get the, viticulture, that's his major in college to keep the thing going. But I got to do the whole tour yesterday, and just really wonderful family, and got to get the whole history of the property and go through all where they do the fermenting, the bottling, the whole deal. So it was really quite an experience, and I thought of you being Italian. And
oh yeah, well my grandfather when he came here from Italy this was back in early 1900s. Basically, he was a wine and grappa. Grappa, of course, you know, is corn whiskey, and that's what he made. He made salami and suppressa, and he made wine and grappa. And then during the Prohibition years of the 30s, that's basically how he supported the family, was by, you know, making wine and grappa during Prohibition, and of course salami and cheese. But most of the money came from the you know, from the whiskey and stuff that he sold. And my sister has pictures of my mother and my aunt sitting on the floorboard of my grandfather's old Cadillac, and he's shaking hands with John Dillinger. Dillinger was from Indiana, where we were from, and they had sold stuff to Dillinger long before he was famous as a bank robber. You know, he was a bootlegger, but he was sort of a Robin Hood in Indiana in those days. But that's part of the history that you don't want to bring up very much. But you know, that's all part of what happened during those times of the 30s and 40s when life was pretty tough out there.
Yeah, so it's nice to see that they're going to keep that going, and it's been the family for a lot of years, and it's just a nice piece of property, and it's like I said, it's the only one that's still left, still remaining in this area.
Sure, they probably get offers to be bought out by, you know, the big producers and stuff. I know that happens because, you know, I spent quite a few years in the Central Coast there in Paso Robles, and you know, that area where they have some beautiful wine countries, and most of those little small vineyards have been absorbed by some of the really big ones. And but boy, they're still absolutely beautiful when you go through that area. And if folks, I don't know if you've ever been to the Santa or up in the area of Napa Valley, boy, that's where you really want to go. If you can't afford France, go to the Napa Valley, because that's really spectacular up there. Everything is wonderful. Take that little train from Napa up to Calistoga Springs. It's just fabulous. They have these gourmet dinners and stuff, and it's really reasonable too. So I don't know if you and Leanne have ever done that, but that's really something that's exciting to do. Yeah,
as a matter of fact, we do every year. We our actual anniversary is in September, but she's a teacher, and so it's a very busy time of year for her. So we've kind of pushed everything into November when we go up to Mendocino, and so we drive through that whole area. Yeah, it's really beautiful that time of year. All the vines are changing color, and sure. It'd be like fall on any other tree. So all the vines are turning orange and red, and it's a beautiful area. So that's for sure. A little quieter that time of year. You can go through you can do any tasting you want to do, or just go through, and it's not crowded, and it's just a beautiful time to be up there. That's for sure. Well, listen, I want to wish you a Happy New Year, and thanks for calling in, and I hope you keep doing it this coming year. Oh, I will, absolutely, with all your help and TFNN. By the way, are you still into natural gas? I know you bought that down near the bottom, and it's had one heck of a rally here for the last 3 weeks. I didn't know if you were still involved with that or not. It's been good. Yeah, it was a good trade, and I always take off some of my position to get myself as free in the trade as I can, and to protect myself. But it's been a good trade, and I always appreciate all your help, and it's been, just made the whole experience much better having you involved with it. And okay, I'll send you your check right after the show ends today. Okay. I really do mean that. I know you do, Brent. I'm just joking you, buddy. I got to have a little fun with somebody, otherwise my 4-year-old, he consumes my life. I have to tell you what he did yesterday. We were on the train. I take him for a train ride when we're back here, and we go like 2 hours in each direction. This time we went to New York and back, and we were on the train, and he's such a beautiful little boy. And I was looking at him, and I said, you have the most beautiful smile. I'd like to buy that smile for $1. And so I gave him the $1, and he looked at it, and he says, my smile is worth $2. I said, boy, you're learning from your grandmother right away. So anyway, he's so smart. But it's really amazing, to see these little ones. God, because I've had little ones for so long. My kids are damn near 50, and it's really scary to see the little ones now, how smart they really are. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I know at some point I'm not pushing my kids to have their own kids, but I know at some point I'm looking forward to it. So. That's for sure. All right, my friend. We'll talk to you later, okay? Care, Larry. I really appreciate everything, and just have a wonderful New Year, and same to your family, okay? Okay, Brent. Thanks a lot. All right. All right, take care.
Get back to CMG here, folks. This Chipotle Mexican Grill. I don't think the news is right with this stuff. Let me tell you why. They're having these things all across the country with the E. coli, and that doesn't make any sense. Anytime we've had these problems with either Jack in the Box or whatever they happen to be, they've always been localized. But when you see them popping up in other parts of the country with the same problem, that doesn't make any sense because they're buying from local suppliers. First of all, I'm paranoid, but remember, the paranoid man only has to be right one time in order to prove that he's not paranoid. So I just don't think that the news is right. I have nothing to do with this stock. I'm not long, I'm not short. Basically, that's really what I'm looking at here, and I don't think that makes a whole lot of difference with the stock itself, but the fact that, why is it that they're having them all over the country? Hello, I mean, there's something not right here. That's just, the basic, and someone's mentioned it took 30 years, for Jack in the Box to get over. Actually, it got over, quite a bit earlier than that, but it hurt them for at least a decade, especially in California. I mean, used to be able to have these out, but, you just got to be careful here. Who knows? There's, a lot of you folks don't remember, but years ago, people came in and they put in cyanide tablets in Tylenol. And that was a situation that was basically someone who was mentally ill doing that. So anytime you've got these things packaged, you've got to be careful. And, that's why we have, incredible packaging that we have now. And that's what makes things more expensive. But, you go to places like China and other places, Mexico, you're not going to get that. So we'll wait and see. I know I've been watching the CMG thing a little bit, and these people are coming on and saying, this is not the case, and all the experts are talking. Well, remember 3 letters, folks. WMD, weapons of mass destruction. They fed us that tapioca for 2 years, and they never found one weapon of mass destruction over there. So just be careful what the government tells us, and I'm always skeptical about that because they always have their own agendas, when they're doing these things. So follow the charts. That's basically it. Remember what John Logan says: things that are going down continue to go down, and things that are going up continue to go up. That's pretty much like what it looks like from the cheap seats. Now we're going to take a look here at the stock we looked at yesterday. We did get right up to the ABCD level in this McDonald's. We're trading about a buck under that right now. At least it was yesterday. I haven't checked it yet today. But there's a 3-drive pattern over the last 3 or 4 weeks. That's the exact reverse pattern of what's happening with CMG. Believe it or not, folks, I've only got about another 3 or 4 minutes for the rest of this year. And then we'll see what's happening. I will take this time. Well, we'll take a little break here in a minute, but I do want to wish everybody a happy new year and try to do something for someone that has a whole lot less than you folks. We see it everywhere, and just do a little something. If someone asks you for $1, give them $1. If they ask you for $5, give them $5. If they're smoking or drinking, don't give them anything. But if they do need money and they're looking for something, and be aware if they're saying it, well, I'm not going to say anything about religion because then I'll get into trouble with everybody, and I don't want to do that. But we'll see what's happening here with the rest of these markets. We do want to alert you one more time. There was weapons of mass in Iraq. Well, I don't know about that. I never did see it, but who knows? Well, very small amount. Yeah, probably there could have been something in it. Probably was somebody lighter fluid or something that they might have had, but nothing like what they had thought. So who knows? We'll have to wait and see. I'm just trying to bluff myself through these last 5 minutes. Anybody have any questions in here? Please give me a break here and help the old cowboy out, because we are heading to the aquarium after we leave here today. The little ones, we're taking them to see the sharks, the whales. They love to see this. Okay, we'll be right back. 877-927-6649.
Biotech is booming, but for how long? Whether you think the biotech bull has room to run or has run its course, trade LABU or LABD. Direction's daily S&P Biotech 3 times bull and bear ETFs. Visit directioninvestments.com/biotech today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, host of the Trader's Edge, heard daily at TFNN.com and author of Mastering Probability, a daily investment and trading newsletter service that I send out each morning by 8 a.m. My morning newsletter service covers exactly what the markets have been doing since last night's close, providing you with an edge on your trading day ahead. You get actionable trading ideas, including the exact entry, stop, and profit targets. Plus, I'll teach you the patterns and hidden market correlations that will make you a better trader. As a subscriber, you'll gain access to my 90-minute money management workshop, where I'll teach you the secrets that'll save your assets. The bottom line, I've got your back, including a 30-day money-back guarantee. See for yourself the type of analysis I provide each trading day by signing up for Mastering Probability today. With nothing to lose, this is an offer you should not pass on. Mastering Probability can be found under Trading Newsletters on the front page of TFNN.com.
Tom O'Brien's weekly gold letter, The Gold Report, gives complete and concise coverage of the entire gold market. Inside, you'll get Tom's commentary on gold, the dollar, the rand, the bond, the XAU, the HUI, and detailed coverage of nearly 25 mining stocks. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock trade. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. With a lifetime of knowledge and almost 12 years of writing his informative weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, Tom O'Brien can provide you with the important market information to help you make better trades in the gold market. Don't let the next bull run in gold pass you by. To get a month-long free trial to The Gold Report, an $85 value, visit the front page of TFNN.com today.
Since 1984, Basil Chapman has been using the Chapman Wave methodology to advise traders of his expert market opinion. While originally hand-drawing charts from the late 1970s into the 1980s, Basil noticed that prices under most circumstances virtually always had a certain number of legs to the upside before declining sharply. Later, Basil found that computer software, which included the standard market technical indicators, enhanced the degree of accuracy in calling price turns as well as market trend calls. Thus was born the Chapman Wave sequence. Using the Chapman Wave methodology along with other indicators, Basil Chapman advises his subscribers of his expert market opinion each market day with his opening call newsletter. Right now, you can get a 2-week free trial to the opening call, Basil's daily trading newsletter, by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Cancel at any time during that trial and pay absolutely nothing. Get your 2-week free trial to Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, today by visiting TFNN.com.
Catch the Money Masters as they teach you the art of mastering money when it comes to trading and investing. Next on TFNN.
Okay, we're back, folks, and we want to end the year here. We're on a positive note. We just finished, 4 years of quantitative easing, and we've had the markets go up. Some of the markets have gone up anyway, the 100 and so stocks that have been pushing this thing up. We've got to be really careful here, folks. I remember in 2000, in March of 2000, I was speaking in San Francisco that weekend of the 24th. The market gapped down on that following Monday, and everybody in that whole place, there must have been 600 or 700 people, Everybody was bullish on the front cover of Newsweek and the front cover of Time. You had a picture of a big bull with NASDAQ 5,000 on it. We don't have that type of bullish enthusiasm here, but we certainly have a divergence in what's really happening with the stock market and what they're showing us each day in the financial press as the NASDAQ goes higher and the Dow Jones and then the S&P, but the rest of the market is certainly not doing that. So be afraid, be very afraid. So we'll wait and see here. We have some support here at the old 2040 level in the S&P. If we close below that, that would really be a bad situation. I just noticed here that we gapped down $1.50 in McDonald's today. That certainly confirms that 3 drive to a top pattern. So it could be something to keep an eye on with Mickey D here, just to see what's going on with that particular one. We will resume our broadcasting, I guess, on Monday. And I want to wish everybody a wonderful and happy New Year, and Shana Tova to all of our Jewish friends. I have to bring that out because when we were at Drexel, I learned more Yiddish words than I did in my whole previous 40-some years. But that just means Happy New Year. And also Gong Hei Fat Choi to all of our Chinese and folks from Hong Kong and stuff. That means Happy New Year in Chinese. And Happy New Year is what it is in English. So we'll see what's going on. But these markets will be increased in volatility in 2016. I believe that very surely. Happy New Year, everyone.
If you're an active trader looking for that extra edge when it comes to trading and investments, then now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's daily market letter, Market Insights. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, comes out every market day at around 9:30 a.m. and provides Tom's daily commentary on the broad market, including the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P, plus specific trade recommendations. There's even an update published most afternoons to keep you informed about the day's market activity. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock and option trade. With Market Insights, there's nothing left to guessing. For all the details and to get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights started today, visit TFNN.com.